So, how's it going?
Yeah, man, we're good. We're on a new week. We're back at work. Different shift pattern. Getting more and more into the meds. Football season's back, so all the excitement of life is on its way back. All the stuff that I live for.
Football season is back. Where have you been?
Where have I been?
Yeah.
I have been at MK Dons today. My team. I am an MK Dons fan for my sins. My local team. And we have been there today. I missed all 3 goals going in because I was late because of traffic on the road and a crash. And then I managed to watch effectively a 0-0 game for me, but a 2-1 game of a very frustrating game of football where we lost to our most previous manager, who we sacked for poor performances. So the irony today is huge. It really is huge.
Yeah, well, I've just pulled it up on the screen as well, which maybe I'll share it. Or who knows? See if I can do it. How do I share this? There you go.
I can't wait to relook at this all over
Can you
again.
see it? Look at that.
Unfortunately.
2-0 down after 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's rough. We go into the season,
painful.
Especially with the new owners as well. Obviously, the news that the Kuwait consortium have taken over, and we're now cash money rich. After Pete sold the club after 20 years of ownership, and you think, all right, we're going to kick on. The players are going to be up for it. The fans are going to want it. Rafa are going to come in scared, and they've just gone 2-0 up after 5 minutes from a fairly, the first goal was a wonder goal, to be fair to him, and the second one was just a defensive shambles by our new centre back on his debut, which is what you hate to see, really.
Real smelly start.
Yeah, it's not great, and obviously, I wasn't even in the stadium when it was 2-1. I was still outside the ground walking to the stadium when our only goal went in. And then you get in there, you think, oh, crikey, it's going to be a longer season than what we thought it was going to be. I think we need to hope that this Matt O'Reilly money, when he leaves Celtic, comes in quick and the Kuwaiti owners can do something and buy some players and turn us into a bit of a Wrexham, because I think we are not going to hit the bar that the media has put us at this season, I think.
Yeah, to be fair, even when these takeovers happen, they take time, don't they? They don't happen overnight.
Yeah,
you can bring players in, but you need... Yeah, you bring players in and they need to gel and stuff as well, and you need to build a little bit. Even City, when City's money came in, it took them a while.
Yeah,
when did they get the money? What was it? 2009 was it? 2008? And it took them until 2012 to win the title. So
yeah, true. I mean, it will take its time, and obviously, financial fair play has changed massively since the kind of City takeover and the Arsenal takeover and stuff like that. It's all changed a lot since then. Obviously, you've got financial fair play in place, not as strict as it is in the Premier League as it is in the EFL. Obviously, we're not bringing in a lot of money compared to the outgoings we've got. I think that's one of the things about the club. Pete sold it because it wasn't really sustainable or profitable anymore. But obviously, if we get, like I said, Matt O'Reilly, we've got a decent sell-on clause. I think it's 20%. So if Celtic do sell him to a big club like they're meant to be this summer, like the rumours say, then that will help us out in January. But hopefully we've got to get to January in a good position, because last year we got to January and we're kind of teetering on the edge of playoffs, and no one really wanted to touch us. They thought we were a dying force. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, we've signed a lot of players. I think we're on 8 new players in the starting 11 today, or 9 new players from last season's final game. So, we've made a lot of changes, and going 2-0 down to a wonder goal and an own goal, you can't really kind of plan for that. That just happens, and then you kind of got. I mean, 2-0 was an absolute mountain to come back on against the first game of the season against a team that's going to sit in big pitches, they don't care. They sit in, defend. So it's frustrating, but it's the first game of 46 games, so I'm not going to try and worry too much about it, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I will bring this little beauty up for you, just to rub a little bit of salt in the wounds today. Nice little 4-2 win for AFC Wimbledon.
I mean, it's a hell of a turnaround, to be fair to them. Again, they were also down. I think it's 9 minutes.
2-0 down, yeah.
Up to screen there, but they were 2-0 down after 9 minutes. They've come back, and they've come back to 3-2 before half time, I think. So, you really can't argue with that. Look at the possession stuff. They're up against it for most of it. But Colchester aren't a good side, and I mean, AFC Wimbledon are certainly going to finish higher than them this season. So I think they've had a shocking start. It's kicked them back into life, and they've gone and done what we couldn't. So, fair play to them. I think a lot of people underestimate AFC and how good they actually are, because a lot of the papers are putting them just outside the playoffs this season. But I think they'll be up there this season with us, to be honest. They're going to want to come back up. They've been there 3 years now, 2 years.
Yeah, we'll see. It's difficult league to get out of, though, isn't it?
It is. It's probably the toughest after the Championship in the English pyramid, I think. I think, obviously, we've gone down there. We were pushing for the Championship 2 seasons ago. Yeah, 2 seasons ago we were relegated, and so 3 seasons ago we were pushing for the Championship, and then 2 years later we found ourselves in League Two, and then another year on we're still here. So it can happen fast in the EFL because it's unforgiving. Players move on free. There's not a lot of money kicking around until you get to the Championship. A lot of teams offer the same wages. The caps are kind of like what a team can offer is all pretty much the same. So it's about your manager and your players and of your pool really. So yeah, it's difficult. And I think people see like yourself are blessed with now with a very powerful superhouse team. Obviously, you didn't always have that, but I think people don't realise how difficult it is to play in the EFL and to be a fan of an EFL team because there is no standard in the EFL. It's just you don't know till the Saturday.
No. Yeah, we've been there. We've been there in the what is now Championship and League One. We got to. That was nice. Nice touch.
Yeah.
I think it was still Division 2 at the time, but
yeah, it would have been called Div 2 at the time. Yeah. It's really the trenches of English football, isn't it?
Yeah, and we only escaped on that wonderful sort of last minute escape and then on penalties in the playoffs against Gillingham. Otherwise, we'd still be there, I reckon.
Which is mad when you look back at it now where Gillingham are. I think Gillingham might even be in our league, potentially, League 2 or League 1.
Actually, no. Top of my head.
I feel like they're a League 2 team. I'm pretty sure they're League 2. I'm more than sure they dropped out of the playoffs with 5-6 games to go last season.
League 2, yeah. They won 4-1 today.
4-1. So there's a lot of big results. It's an opening game, it's such a weird, it's a bit like Boxing Day, New Year's Day, and the last games of the season. Like the first game seems to just never hits form. Like we should have beat Bradford. So Bradford are a good team. Don't get me wrong. Like they'll be up there this season. But everyone expected MK to walk away with a 2-3-0 win today. The players were signed, the changes we've made, the back of last season. But like I say, it's can't hate too much. It's the first game of the season.
It's a long season, isn't it? City always start poorly anyway. I'm sure they won't be.
Haven't we? Obviously, we were just talking before we started and before we came live that obviously City were in the Community Shield today against Man United, which is a glorified friendly, but it is still the showpiece at the start of the season.
It is. But they are notoriously slow starters in the season, to be fair. So
yeah, you always have that bit of a dip, don't you?
Yeah, don't put a lot of weight on it at the start. You know what I mean?
I think United would have liked to have won this one. Obviously, both teams would have liked to. I think United needed this win.
United want it more, don't they? Because they trying to put a statement down, aren't they? They're trying to. Yeah, it would mean more to them than to City.
Yeah, I think again, obviously with the FA Cup, though, wasn't it? United weren't the better team in this match, but they led. They led the game, and City never did. Garnacho's hit a wonder strike, but neither team really. You look at that impressive.
You look at the lineups as well, though. City didn't. That's not their first team, is it? They got a spine of players there, but you know what I mean.
I've never heard of that O'Reilly fella.
Yeah, you've not got your first starters on the pitch, essentially, have you? Bernardo's on the bench. He's come off. Ake's on the bench. De Bruyne is on the bench. You know what I mean?
You like to hope United have got some players coming back in though, because that is for the amount of money they spent this summer. Obviously, I'm aware Zerkey got injured in pre-season after they spent a lot of money on him, and I'm aware that Hoyland's out injured, and obviously the other player that they signed, Yoro at the centre back, he's obviously injured as well. So I think they look strapped though. If they go to the first game of the season like that with that lineup, with that bench,
not be funny. This is there or thereabouts their first team.
Yeah, it is now. You take them injuries out. That's pretty much it. Their depth is.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're
injuries aside,
aren't they?
Injuries aside, that you can't do anything about. There is nothing else.
No, it's not good. That is Zerkey's on the bench. He didn't even come on, did he? But that is probably one of the weakest United teams since the post-Fergie era. I think today is that lineup alone, because I think this is Diallo was playing League One 2 seasons ago, season and a half ago. Mason Mount's not kicked the ball for about 12 months. Johnny Evans is knocking on 50 now.
He shouldn't be playing anymore, and I don't think Casemiro should be playing anymore.
No, I watched the penalty shootout in the car before I left the stadium today, and I think it's probably the lowest quality penalty shootout I've seen for such a long time. Casemiro's was ankle height down the middle of the goal. If Ederson goes the right way, he saves it.
Ederson doesn't save that, then.
No, true. He saved Jadon Sancho's, and the last 3 penalties Jadon Sancho's took is all at that end of Wembley, and he's missed all of them.
More luck than judgment, I think, on Ederson's part, though. He don't save much.
Yeah, it was. To be fair to him, it was a decent save. Like he's got a hand to it, and he's got a strong wrist because you see a lot of goalkeepers go like almost popping on wrists in that situation, and it goes in. But he's knocked onto the post. It's rolled across the goal line, so it's unlucky for Sancho. But it had to be Sancho, didn't it? Like the history he's got with Ten Hag and United over the last 12 months, and it had to be Sancho that killed it.
And he started at City.
Yeah, and he started at City.
City
Academy product,
so,
isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I like that. Like that from him.
It's not great for him. I think he is still probably looking for an out at United. You'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he got on the pitch today and he played a bit, I think, shows he has potentially got a future there. But
yeah, I mean, we'll see.
I'd
like to think he does because I like Jadon Sancho. I think he's got something that not a lot of English players have, and I think England miss out because he's not currently playing very well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens to him. I think there's a lot of wingers ahead of Sancho in that United team when they're all fit.
I don't think this is the right club for him anyway.
No, it's not really his style. I think Ten Hag has made that clear. I mean, I'm surprised you've not heard more about him in the window. I'm surprised Dortmund didn't come back in, or like another club like a Villa or West Ham. Like there's not really many.
Yeah, I think like someone like Villa would really suit him. But we'll see.
He's one of them players that needs to be loved and adored wherever he is, and he just isn't at United at the moment. I think that's going to obviously hamper him. But obviously they've got Ruben Nistelrooy back coaching in the team now. That's going to change a lot. I think that will mean Josh Zirkzee and Højlund to come on a lot in the next 12 months under the kind of guidance of Ruben Nistelrooy, who is he's a manager. He's like, he probably shouldn't be in a coaching job. He should probably be in a managerial role, really, if you kind of think about it logically.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I think Højlund needs a lot of work. From what I've seen of him, they're all raving about him, and I was like, well, before they signed him, I've not seen anything from him.
Yeah, I think
even in the Euros, the Euros, awful.
Yeah, it wasn't
absolutely awful.
Kind of a lot of injuries for a kid as well, only like that back injury comes to United with. You think, oh God, you're spending 65 million on a player whose back might not ever get better, or 65, 70 million, whatever he was. A player his back might not ever get any better. Don't worry.
I think the thing is, when you're playing in that position that he's playing in, it's like Haaland. If you don't do nothing, then you're going to get criticised. But like Haaland gets away with it because he might go missing in games here and there. Even like today, probably he went missing a bit, but he will get you 20, 30 goals in a season, whereas Højlund's not doing that, so he's not really justifying that being in that slot.
Yeah, he's a strange player, Højlund, I think, because he's obviously so raw and so young with these injuries, and obviously like coming to the Premier, probably coming to a season, he could have dealt with a kind of a well-blooded Premier League striker to almost guide him into that squad and get used to Premier League life and not play every game, and maybe just like playing like here and there and then build his time up as it goes on. But yeah, I don't know what it is. He might come to life one day, but I don't think he's going to be, anything better than what Liverpool have got with Núñez. He's just another okay striker for a Premier League club.
Yeah, I think they've bought badly, haven't they, for many years now. Like in the days that like Ferguson was there, he would have brought somebody like Watkins in. I think he would have gone after Watkins and he would have got him.
Yeah,
and
the strikers that have moved this window. They could have bought a Premier League striker. They could have bought a Watkins. Like Villa would have sold. Like they've got their need to at the moment. To get their financial fair play square, so they can start spending their big money they have behind them. Like Solanke's gone again, not amazing. Don't get me wrong. He scores all of Bournemouth's goals. That's why he's such a high goal scorer last season, because he did score all their goals.
But Ferguson used to do that as well, didn't he? He used to bring in, he brought in Owen at the end of his career when he was a bit part player, but he was going to get goals because he knew he's guaranteed goals. He brought Louis Saha in, who was never really like a superstar, but he was going to get you some goals, so that's why they picked him up. I mean, he's done them kind of signings as well, yeah. So he knew like he'd have his main strikers, but he'd also bring in players like that who can come on and do a job.
United have done that in the past. Look at Wout Weghorst, Igalo. They're players that have played in the Prem. They're players that know the Prem. They know international football. They know European football. And they come in, they score 5-10 goals. Like they had Falcao for a bit. They had Cavani, Ibrahimovic. There's 5 strikers over the last 7 seasons. But they're not doing it this year. It's weird.
But they bought them players to be the first choice striker. That's where they're going wrong. They're the backup striker, aren't they? At that point in their career.
Yeah, I think they needed that young striker to come through, and they just couldn't. Like obviously, Rashford became more of a winger, didn't he? Sancho obviously come through eventually after a 3-year long transfer kind of thing.
Yeah, Rashford was awful last year.
Yeah, I think. So. Yeah, I mean, it probably brings me on nicely to the next question: is of where you think the Premier League's going to go this season, because there is so much talk around Arsenal and all the stuff they've been doing in pre-season, bringing in that guy, bringing in this guy, bringing in a magician, bringing in a psychologist, like all this stuff they've been doing, and everyone say like, this is it, this is their year. They've come close twice, and now this year they're going to put Pep kind of out of his perch, really, I guess, and that he's kind of been sat on for the last 5-6 seasons, and it's going to kind of be the end of Pep. That's what a lot of people think it's going to be, especially after today. Like people aren't convinced by City, but like you say, not the best team for City today.
Nah, I don't fancy him.
You don't fancy it. What do you reckon it's going to... Like, are you still Arsenal? Are you still City Arsenal 1-2?
At the minute, it's hard to see against that, innit? But I don't know. I think that just shows like the fact they're bringing in all these extra people to try and get them over the line and stuff. I think Arsenal are really like they're lost for what to do with all these extra things. Yeah. They're like they had the best season that they've had in decades, and they still came up short. I don't think that shows strength, what they're doing. They've not gone, right, what we're doing is good. We'll just make minor adjustments and we'll get there. And we'll get over that line. I think it actually shows mental weakness. They're playing well, and they start well, and they will start well. And City will start slow, but it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish that matters. And when it counts, City will turn it on. And I think, now that Alvarez is gone, I think you'll see City bring in a couple of players as well.
Do you reckon? Who do you reckon is a City player to bring in, though? Because I feel like a lot of City's transfers over the last couple of years, especially, have been kind of like, your young up-and-coming players that take time to blood in, like Doku, that's Savinho, Sabo, whatever his name is, that you've supported this season as well.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it is that they could bring in. Like, who does City target? Like, they're not going to buy more superstars, I don't think.
No, they won't buy another. They won't buy a superstar, but they'll buy somebody who's capable, who will come in and do a job. So we'll see. I can't imagine they'll go without signing now that they sold Alvarez. They know they need to replace him, and they've already said, like the last couple of seasons, they're actively looking for a KDB replacement, because I think he'll go after this year. I think this will be his last season.
I think he's probably going to Saudi eventually, isn't he?
Yeah, so I think he'll go. So I think they'll be looking for a replacement for him, and a replacement for Walker as well. So
Carl's probably continue his career. Really.
That might happen now. That might happen now, or it might happen in January, or they might wait until next year. But they'll definitely be looking to replace them 3 players. So
I think it will see. I think it will be heavily dependent on what Pep's going to do the season formation-wise. I think it was a 4-3-3 you guys have lined up in today. Obviously, that's because of what he had available. But whether he's going to go back to that kind of 3-2-4-1 he's been running. Obviously, but without Alvarez, if you get an injury to De Bruyne or you get an injury to Haaland, God forbid, you guys are going to be strapped in that position. Like that 9 and 10, you'll be really, really strapped. I don't know anyone that can in the City squad that can do that job.
Well, Foden will do the 10, won't he? But
yeah, obviously, like they like him kind of like in that almost like supportive, like it's almost like they almost have like 2 10s, don't they, behind the striker?
Yeah, but he'll play in there. Role. Oscar Bob will play a bit more this year.
Yeah, if you lose Haaland, you're going to be struggling, aren't you? Massively.
He's the one that'll struggle to replace, not only because he's the only out-and-out striker we got, but he's the goal scorer, and he's the goal scorer. We'll get goals everywhere else on the park as well, but he gets 20-30 goals a year, which is huge in a title race.
Yeah, I mean, he's rarely injured, to be fair to him, but obviously he did miss 5-6 games last season, and he missed 5 or 6 seasons before that, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's been injured in pre-season, hasn't he, this year? So we'll see.
It's certainly interesting, that's for sure. I mean, like, I was just reading through the kind of like rumours as such that kind of you guys are linked with in terms of what players City have been looking at of late, and you've only really got obviously Kyle Walker going out. They're kind of potentially willing to offer a deal. Bruno
the one from we've been heavily linked. Yeah, we've been heavily linked with him.
Yeah, and obviously you missed out on Neto, didn't you? Because he went to Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't think he's right anyway for us.
Yeah, so I think there's not a lot linked with City at the moment, striker-wise, which does concern me if Haaland, it's unlikely, but if he gets a big injury and he's out for a long period of time, that's going to cause some issues, I think.
Yeah, but I think as well, I don't think they'll play because Alvarez wasn't an out-and-out striker. He was more of a playmaker as well when he'd sit in deeper. So I think it wouldn't surprise me if they look at somebody like that who's a bit in between. So there was talk about Danny Olmo in the summer, whether that'll resurface now that Alvarez is gone and he's quality. He's a City player. He'll
he's
fit.
A City player. He's a very pep player. A very pep player.
Yeah, he'll fit the mold. So if he came in, I think he'd come in and hit the ground running. But we'll see. I mean, we've been linked with Eze for ages. We've been linked with Eze for ages, but I don't think he'll fit. I think he'll come up short in that team.
Yeah, I think you've got a lot of players that serve that role now, especially with Savinho coming in. Like you've got a lot of players that serve that role, I think.
Yeah, and there's talk about a backup for Rodri as well, because Phillips is.
Which is strange. I think
looks
like you've got
it's because it looks like Phillips is going out the door now. Finally, he's getting a bit of attention. So
yeah, you got Bob, and I mean he can play anywhere. By the looks of it, he played on the wing today. He's played in the not Bob, sorry, Rico Lewis. He obviously played fullback today, didn't he? Obviously he can do a job in the hole. Got Stones, obviously. Akanji can play there now, as we've seen last season. Like he played in DM for a bit last season, didn't he? Like it's strong, to be fair. Like I mean, City always are, but you expect them to sign someone now. Especially, I think Daniel Olmo is going to be the one that they bring in. And obviously, there's still talk about Edison going out, but Ortega's a very capable number one if he goes.
Yeah, I think now that we've got rid of Alvarez, I think they might, because Olmo's got a transfer clause as well.
Yeah,
so I think so we can trigger his release clause potentially now that that's happened. But yeah, I'm not sure about Guimaraes, Bruno. I don't know. He's a good player, but again, some of these players, when they come to City, and the City play a very specific brand of football, a very specific way. A lot of these players who've had a bit more freedom in other roles don't always click.
Yeah, I think Newcastle would be hard pressed to sell Bruno on anything less than cheap. Like they're going to want a lot because he's their best player, and the fans love him, the club love him. He's their captain, I think, as well, or vice captain. I think they're going to. I think they're really strong. A bit like West Ham last season. They weren't going to let him go unless you were paying well over the odds. Yeah. So now he's going to be banned anyway, so he's no good to you anyway.
No, that's not good to us because that's another choice that they could have potentially looked at. But we are linked to Rodrigo as well.
The one from Real Madrid.
Yeah, linked to him and Kingsley Coman.
Yeah, Kingsley's a good player. He's only ever won one season without winning a league title, hasn't he? And that was last season, thanks to the Harry Kane curse. So he's probably got one out now. He's
consistent.
He's a good player. He's a winner. So
we'll see. It's all rumours, isn't it? But we'll see.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they won't bring somebody in now that Alvarez is gone. At the minimum, to replace him.
Yeah, it's almost like a no-brainer, and I think Pep's not one to leave himself short. He likes depth. He got money. Why not spend it? You know what I mean? Like they're going to have 90 million Alvarez is going for. Like in the end, in total after all the bits and bobs that are added on, like 90 odd mil. In a window we've seen Solanke go for 55. You pick a striker for 60, 70 million. That's worth being in the team, and won't you have to worry about if you would have got money back already.
Yeah, we'll see. It was a good bit of business with Alvarez. He was never going to stay. Having won what he's won, he's always going to want him be first choice, isn't he? But
it's a shame for him because I do like him, and I think he's a cracking player. Like had Haaland not exist, he would have been the City number 9 for probably years to come.
Yeah.
So it is a shame for him because he probably could walk into, I'd argue, probably any starting 11 in any of the world football teams at the moment.
Most of them, you get a game. You get a game on most of them. To be fair, he has played him and Haaland together because he can play in that 10 role behind, but then he got KDB, so when he's fit, it's like, well, sorry, pal.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go to Arsenal, to be fair, because a lot of City players seem to get the hump at City and then go to Arsenal.
I think the ones that went to Arsenal are all the ones that have worked with Arteta, aren't they? So none of them none of the new ones will have the same sort of bond and interest. I don't think. I think it's just the ones that were there when Arteta was there that really feel close to him and want to be a part of what he's doing, I guess. But
catch Kyle Walker at Arsenal in 2 years, and
he's just Diet Pep, isn't he? He's no good.
Diet Pep.
You know what I mean? Absolutely no good, mate. It's like all these people. Like I say it all the time, but like all these people just copy him. Be yourself, man.
Yeah,
come up with your own stuff.
That,
Yeah.
So moving off from Premier League to still on football, England, Lee Carsley looks like he's got the job, at least on an interim basis. England aren't willing to commit to a manager in 2024 by the sounds of it, and at least until the end of the current season. Pep's got 1 year left, so it's kind of still obviously City related. Lee Carsley, can he be what England need, or is he just going to be a stock horse until a big name like a Klopp, a Pep, something like that comes around? Because England are in a position now where they can attract a big manager, I think.
Yeah, they can, but I think it'll depend on his results in the interim and Pep's availability. So Pep has also said that I'm not leaving City. When I'm gonna leave, I'll tell you I'm leaving. He's literally said that in the press that this week gone. So I don't think he's done yet.
No, I think he'll. Especially if you don't win it this year, he'll want to stay, wouldn't he?
I don't think he'll stay long, but I think is this season 8 for him? Maybe.
Yeah,
season 9. I think he'll see it out. I think he'll do 10 seasons and done, I reckon.
Yeah, England aren't going to wait that long, are they? But Lee Carsley might end up coming in and bringing the brand of football that England fans have been begging to see since 2004, probably. Where we've got to breed attacking players and we can play like a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 and we actually attack a team, maybe. Just like dreaming.
I doubt it. Nobody else does it. No one else does it.
I think because the FA have so much say on the England team, don't they? But Carsley has done that with the 21s. So I think
it's just a lot less pressure. There's just a lot less pressure in it with the age group football. You can do what you want to do without the scrutiny and stuff. And I think everybody's terrified when they get the big job because they're too afraid to lose to attack and be brave. But
international football is in a bit of a weird spot at the moment where, like, I feel like any World Cup, if I feel a World Cup tomorrow, I don't think a European team would win it. I think an Argentina or a Brazil would win it still because I think European football is in a bit of a weird spot at the moment where there's no decent attacking temes bar Spain.
I don't know. I think Spain are looking really good at the minute. I think they've got a good balance about them at the minute.
They're only even the first couple of podcasts we were doing, Spain were the only team that were attacking. They were the only team scoring 3-4 goals a game. They were just exciting, weren't they? Like, whereas France were boring, Germany were boring, England were boring. Even like the middle teams like Denmark, who normally just go and like beat you up and score goals, even they were boring. So
it was poor. It was a bit.
We'll see. We'll see what happens over the next 12 months. I guess. I think the next 12 months will be fairly big in football. It'll be a silly season. As soon as one big manager leaves and a couple of big players leave, that's it. Everyone starts moving, doesn't they?
Yeah. I think. Yeah, but I reckon Pep will stay. I reckon he'll sign another extension, just like a year or 2 years, but it won't be long. But
if he does 2 years, then he'll be ready in line for MK Dons when we get to the Premier League.
Yeah, maybe.
2027, here we come.
I actually think he quite fancies like having a pop with some more records before he goes. I think that's what it is. He'd like number 5 in a row. I don't think anybody's going to come along and beat that titles.
That doesn't get beat, does it?
No. I think he'll have his eye on some stuff. Plus, the club is built for him specifically. We did that on purpose. So, I don't think there's anywhere better for him to go. And I think maybe in national football is the only other place he'll go.
Yeah, I'm all for it. If it means he goes to England, then I'm absolutely for it because I think England need something that's going to be attacking and a winner. They need a winner because for too long have we kind of hidden behind not winning. So, kind of this all boo us attitude. We are unlucky. We're England. We're so close. We're the kind of bridesmaid, but never the bride. Like, it's about time we went. No, we're going to be the bride now. Start doing something.
The thing is, if you get Pep, he will have them playing a specific way. They will play a specific way. Everybody will know their job. And he's not afraid of dropping people and like leaving big names out. He'll play who he thinks is the player that can do that job for him. Definitely. And he'll play a system that he wants to play. And they might be better for it.
Yeah, quite well be. Moving on to a different kind of sporting topic, the Olympics. Have you managed to catch much this summer?
No, not really. I've been avoiding a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, Team GB is more of Team England and Scotland, really, isn't it? Like Wales don't get massively involved.
Hurtful. Unnecessary. That.
Obviously, for those who do have an interest in the Olympics that will listen, I imagine there will be some. I'll share my screen and we'll bounce around some of the medal table stuff because England, England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, obviously Team GB. For those of you who aren't as well linked into the Olympics and to athletics, are doing a fairly decent job. Is that sharing with you on your side?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so obviously we've got medal table. The medals, the USA always have the most because they've got so many athletes, and in most sports they seem to have 2 or 3 that qualify. So it's one of them where they're always going to be higher. China always going to be higher because they have pumped so much money into their Olympic campaign. Japan and Australia are always often up there. Obviously, France, home Olympics, they've currently tied with us on medals total, but have 1 more gold, so puts them above us. But yeah, it's been good to be fair. Like we're not hitting a bad total to be on nearly 60 medals with just over a week or so to go. It's a good place, and I think it inspires a lot of kind of future generations really, and it's kind of. I think it shows how well spread sport is in some countries because obviously there's not a lot of teams in this top 10 who are good across a range of sports. Obviously, I appreciate we're 4 nations put together, but like if you look at like Spain, of their gold medals, they've got 5, and one of them's in the football. So obviously they're world champions of Olympic football and European champions now. Obviously Brazil, massive sporting nation down there. But yeah, so it has been good. And like I said, obviously you don't too much, but
there's a range of sports though, in there. You know what I mean? Like breakdancing's in it now, isn't it?
Yeah, you got all sorts. Like, you got shooting,
wild,
and modern heptathlon, and everything. I mean, there's so much different stuff now, and like. There's a lot of sports where you've got people that compete in multiple things. Like, I mean, you'll see a lot of swimming, a lot of archery people that are up in these top medals for athletes because of how many events they swim in. You've got teams, you've got relays, you've got the individuals, and they've got kind of like mixed events as well. Like, you've got all sorts in swimming and athletics, gymnastics specifically. So, they're going to be up there a lot. But it's good stuff because you see stories that people don't really get to hear about unless it's the Olympics. Like, I mean, I was watching the skeet shooting the other day, and our female athlete came second, got a silver medal, and she was in a shoot off with the female who won. I can't remember which country she was from now.
Yeah.
And our GB athlete hit the target, so she hit the skeet, but because it didn't split, and they don't have a VAR or a Hawkeye kind of system in shooting, which I think is mental for what it is and how specific and kind of small margins they have in shooting. They didn't see it. You could see it on TV that she hit it. It just didn't blow up, so they didn't give her the shot. So we come second on that.
Smelly.
And never would I care about shooting ever. Skeet shooting. I just don't care. I wouldn't talk about it for another 4 years until the next Olympics. But I was raging at the TV. Couldn't believe it. Up in arms, tweeting about it. I was fuming. That's just obviously what the Olympics can bring, I guess.
What it can. What do you think about the Olympics? Right, they don't pay their athletes. Obviously, they're amateur, in it, so nobody gets paid to compete in the Olympics. They spend 4 years of their life minimum training for it. There's years running up to that, innit? But they spend 4 years of their life training for one Olympics, right? And then let me share this.
It's a shame on the amateur.
And then you look at that, right? 7.6 billion. That was the last the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, right? 7.6 billion in profit, and the athletes get absolutely zilch, zero share, and people are tuning in to watch them. That's what's happening. Nobody's tuning in for the crappy shows at the start where people are doing, the opening ceremony where they paying their mates to come and do a show.
I mean, it's crazy.
It's so corrupt.
So some countries pay their athletes for the medals they get. Obviously, like we pay ours for whatever gold, silver, bronze they get and stuff. But obviously, there's no like direct payment from the Olympics themselves, which, like you say, that's crazy, isn't it? Like that profit Where does that even
Nothing.
go? Like, genuinely, where does that money go? Like,
Yeah,
I don't see it anywhere.
Because the Olympics cost a lot, but that's like profit that it makes.
Yeah.
It makes billions of pounds in profit and pays nothing.
Yeah, it's mental, really. Obviously, and the advertisement is crazy. Like, I remember seeing the campaigns between Nike and Adidas for I think it was the previous Olympics or the one prior to that. And Nike got sponsored. I think it was Nike got sponsored like literally all the big athletes. And then Adidas coloured one of their running shoes that they've released that summer yellow. And any athlete that's wearing a yellow shoe, people automatically just kind of started like putting that product to Adidas because it was yellow. The yellow shoe, Adidas were like yellow, 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 yellow. I think it was the London Olympics, and they were like, it's yellow, it's yellow, it's yellow, it's yellow. And then the other brand, and they went out to touch the word London. They couldn't even use the word London in their ads. London, UK. So they used London, America. They used London in one of the African countries. They used London in one of the Asian countries, and they used that and the yellow shoe to almost win the Olympics. And then when people they did like a survey at the end of it, like which advertisements do you remember seeing? Everyone was like, "Oh, I saw." I think it was Adidas who obviously didn't have the deal. But all they saw was Adidas, 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 and there was no advertisement. It's just that shoe, and that random advert put in place people in London. And the rival who didn't have the main sponsorship of the Olympics, whichever way around it was, actually come out with more sales and more rep, which is crazy because you would have paid so much money to advertise in that as well, and then to lose. And like I said, that money doesn't even go anywhere towards the athletes, really.
Nah, bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, advertising's crazy in sport anyway. Like, it pays the way for a lot of dodgy dealings and a lot of stuff in sport. But yeah, it's crazy.
Well, the whole debacle with FIFA and the World Cup in it, where they were like taking backhanders for like giving tournaments to specific areas or countries, whatever. But that must happen in the Olympics as well, right?
Oh,
it's no way that's not happening, is it? Yeah, there's no way that's immune to that kind of, when it's that kind of money on the line and all these powerful people are shaking hands. It's got to be in it.
Yeah, we've tried. It's not. I still think there's part of it still going on. Like, we've got the only country that seems to be going for, I think it's the 2030 World Cup ish, maybe. I think it is. And the only country currently in the running for it is Saudi Arabia, who just happen to be a very, very big football and powerhouse at the moment. And they're the only country that run it. You tell me there's not a single other country that could host a World Cup, because I can name 5.
It's interesting that they have all of a sudden started pumping money into football in it in the lead up, and that's on the horizon. So
it's like you say, it's I can't really talk too much, and obviously we both support clubs that are now backed by very very wealthy oil-based tycoons that are out kind of in the Middle East. So it's hard to really say it without kind of being a bit of a hypocrite, really. But yeah, it is certainly interesting that the World Cup's pretty much going uncontested in Saudi Arabia at the moment, which concerns me that we're going to have another Winter World Cup.
Oh, I know. That was the worst.
Yeah.
I hate that they changed when it was.
All the laws and stuff.
But it is too hot, and it is too hot to do it. Like any other time, that's a problem. But you got all them football. You got all the footballing nations that are bidding for it, that want it. They're like big footballing nations, and then I mean, Qatar even
it ruined it because of the drinking rules, and you didn't see any like fun fan stuff like the Euros just gone. You had like thousands of like Netherlands fans out on the street singing and dancing. You just didn't get it in Qatar. Like it ruined it. I don't remember the World Cup in Qatar really. I remember us going out. It could have been the quarters. It could have been the semis. But it was just like meh. Like it was in the build for Christmas and everyone was at work. There was no pub gardens. It was all inside. It was all just a bit meh for a World Cup, and that's meant to be the sporting pinnacle, really, in probably half the countries in the world.
Yeah, but yeah, I suppose there's an argument for like growing sports there, but I mean, to go from nothing really, because there's no real football presence in Qatar, is there? Let's be honest.
No.
To go from nothing to hosting the biggest football event is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it was super dodge. Saudi Arabia's be obviously a little bit less dodge now because they're going to have 6 years under their belt of signing world-class superstars. But yeah, I don't like it, especially with England.
They are, but that's what I mean. That's coincided with this. I think they probably just learned that what Qatar did, and because there was a lot of backlash for that. So I think Saudi Arabia have been a bit cleverer, and they thought we'll invest in football over a period of time, so that when we get that, we'll be laughing.
I just really hope they don't then go, like, at the end of it and go, right, we're going to pull out of all football now. It's a bit like China did, because obviously China had that Super League for a while, and they, like, Oscar went over there, Hulk, all their kind of names went over. Fellaini was one that went over, and like, they were getting paid like stupid money to play in China. And then China's government and the kind of backers of all that went, we've done it.
Pulled out.
No thanks.
Yeah,
so
that's the problem with it when it's state backed. That's the problem when it's not, So like, I know City's money comes from Prince essentially, and a consortium that have a big say in the state out in Abu Dhabi, but essentially it's not tied to one and the same, if you know what I mean. They're a business, they're running it as a business, they're doing a business venture in a different country, aren't they? Whereas if state backed pushing football, them clubs become dependent on it. There's no rules in place to keep them from going bankrupt. And as soon as they pull that money, which if it's not going well after the World Cup, I imagine they will pull the money. It'll just plummet.
Yeah, I think that's what obviously MK obviously now been bought out by consortium for a number of individuals in Kuwait, and like obviously it's not Saudi Arabia, it's obviously in that kind of ballpark of the world and kind of where the money is and kind of the oil and stuff like that. But like, yeah, it leaves football in a bit of a rocky ground where a lot of clubs are now committed to that. Like Chelsea are committed to it, Newcastle are committed to it. I think some of the Villa money is in and around that sort of world. You've got a lot of teams that are around that sort of money, and obviously a lot of teams are now going to be waiting for transfer kind of money to come from other players. Like when players go over to Saudi Arabia, transfer money doesn't just come into your bank overnight like that. That's not how football works. It's over a contract, over a period. If they just go, ain't got any more money anymore, that's it. They lose out.
Yeah, I think City, theirs has been done really well. How they've done it. I mean, they created the City Football Group. They own multiple clubs across the world now, and there's a network of clubs, and they collaborate and work together and stuff. And then all the investment that they've done in the community as well, and in the clubs, in the infrastructure of the clubs and stuff like that. So I think even if they were to pull their money and leave, they've left the club in such a great place now that I think it'll be a really good club for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think that's where the magic is, isn't it? It's about building a dynasty and a foundation and all that, really. But it's crazy how this football's so well connected to business and money, and the most lucrative businesses in the world is in football. And it's interesting where it will go next 5-10 years. Like by that World Cup in Saudi Arabia, where will football sit in terms of all that investment? It's gonna be interesting, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with it.
It'll changes till then. The handball rules change again this season, hasn't it?
Has it actually changed now?
Yeah, there's another adaptation to the handball rule. I think there was a rule to something else as well they've changed to try and stop all this stupid 12 minutes out of time bullshit you get at the end of a game at the moment. But yeah, that'd be interesting as well, I think. So yeah, football's going to change a lot till then.
Yeah, they do need to make changes. The handball stuff is crap anyway. I don't know what's wrong with using a bit of common sense.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's
every country gets it right.
If somebody's deliberately using their hand, then yeah, by all means. But if it's if the balls just hit their hand and they knew nothing about it, then surely it's just ignore that. Just use common sense and ignore that. And I get it takes a little bit of decision making by a human to decide is that purpose, and they can be open to interpretation. But there's going to be mistakes. You just got to accept that. There's always going to be human error.
It's mental, isn't it? Even sort of the Euros, every time it was English officials, VAR was a shambles. Every time it was any other country, it was pretty much spot on. I think I think we're all over the place.
And I do hate all this added time.
Yeah, it's too much of it. It's all just stupid. Having 15 minutes out of time, balls out of play. We can wait. We don't need 50 minutes of injury time. It's fun because it causes stuff to happen, but just bore off on it.
Yeah, but if you want to do it like that, so you're just doing ball in play, then just stop the clock when the ball's out.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Whenever the ball goes out, stop the clock. If that's what you want.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll show you the new handball sort of what the guidelines are. I know there's due to be some changes either published soon or that are going to be published. But you got the hand and arm is clearly away from the body and outside the body line, whatever that means, and the player clearly leans into the path of the ball and the ball travels some distance. But that's so that's subjective.
That's big.
The last part's super subjective as well. Like how far is a distance?
What do you mean leans into the path of the ball? Because I could lean away from the ball, stick my hand out, and still be on ball, isn't it?
Yeah,
if I'm deliberately doing it.
Yeah, and to block a ball, if you're going to block a cross and you're putting your body in the way, as a defender, if you're a good fullback will put their body in the way of the ball, you are leaning into the ball to block it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
trying to get your body in the way.
They'll run it till October. They'll realise it's a shambles and they'll change it back. But
it'll go wrong, won't it? It'll go wrong.
Yeah,
early doors. It'll go wrong.
Yeah. I'm here for it though because it adds for drama. I like a good penalty. I like a bit of VAR drama because obviously we don't get that in the other leagues. So I like the drama of it all when you get a dodgy VAR call and you're like, and the only thing that affects my life was just fantasy the football. So yeah.
Well, that's a good point, and you set mine up.
Yeah, I started looking at mine because there's even an EFL one this season for the first time in 5 years.
Yeah, you said, yeah.
Yeah, I've not touched it yet though, but I'll have to get our league going. We'll have to get a league going for work, and then we'll have to get a league going for this as well. People that listen can come along and jump in the fantasy league, and we can have a play and see where we come. Because obviously last year, me and you finished on the same points, but you finished in the playoffs. I finished outside of it because I kind of just rage quit after I stopped playing.
I wasn't even watching it towards the end. I think last.
I gave up for a period. I was like, I need to catch up, and I just couldn't. It was too late. The season was done. My team was on the beach. But I'm going to think of a new funky fantasy team name because I always change it every season, and I'm strapped for ideas this year. There's no good.
I do as well.
That people aren't overusing.
I'll find one.
I'll bring it for the next podcast. I'll have my team names and I'll go from there. But obviously, hopefully, we have it for the next. I think when's the first game? Saturday, Friday.
Yeah.
Friday, I expect, isn't it?
We're on Saturday now. It might be Friday night. They'll kick on Friday night for broadcasting, won't they? So they can get a show on TV.
Get, the most TV out as possible now. I mean,
they
had Championship games on today. They had League One games on today. I think they've got League Two games on tomorrow. It's just constant, and they're just trying to get as much sport out there as possible, much football out there is now.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see about that.
I think fantasy football's going to be good this season. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to commit to it this season and
it's good if I stick to it. Half the time I forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to set reminders on my phone. I'm going to commit properly this year.
Right,
I'm going to share my screen on the football and then hand the football there. Move on to some other stuff, and then go from there. But yeah, so Friday, United host Fulham. Ipswich make their return to the Premier League. Get to Liverpool on Saturday early afternoon. That'd be good. I'm looking forward to that game. And then your other games are all pretty dead. Other than you get to Sunday and you got City Chelsea, which is huge for Chelsea. They need to do something big to kick their season off because a lot of people are doubting them. And then they've got Wolves, and then they've got Palace, which aren't easy games. So it could be a pretty sticky start for Chelsea. I can't lie.
Chelsea stink, man. Just the way they're doing stuff really bugs me. This guy's come in and he's just a nightmare. He's just chopping managers left, right, and centre. There's no structure. They bring in so many players in all the time. They must the biggest squad ever to be assembled.
Yeah, them and Forest.
I just don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't understand what's happening.
Weird bunch. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Before we move on for the football, then I want your winner, your dark horse, and your 3 relegation teams, please.
Oh, hang on. Our winner is going to be City.
Yeah, fair.
They may not win it. They may be the year that somebody pips them because it's difficult to keep winning, but it's just hard to bet against them as well. So my winner is going to be City, and then what do you want? My relegation?
Yeah, relegation and a dark horse as well. Someone that you think, I fancy them to do something a little bit nice.
What do you mean a little bit nice?
So
challenge or just outperform.
Yeah, so obviously last season, your dark horse was Villa. They come into the Champions League. The season before that, Brighton made the Europa League and then sustained it.
Yeah.
So who do you think is going to pop up and do something?
Let me see. Let me have a look.
Because I think I agree with you on City winning the league. I think I agree there.
I think it'll be tight, but I think it's just hard to bet against them, isn't it? Really, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
I mean, I like West Ham for a dark horse this season, personally.
Nah, I think they're going to flop.
Do you?
Yeah, I think they'll do worse than they did under Moyes.
It's interesting. There's not a lot of players as well, so they'll look very different.
I still don't fancy him. I don't think this is the answer.
Fair enough.
I think, I think they punch in. Relegation wise, I think the teams that come up are all going to struggle. It's a tough league to come into. However, I fancy Leicester to stay up.
Yeah,
to pinch it, and I think Forest will go down.
Yeah, I think they'll be close. Obviously, they're massively tight rivals up there, so I think they're going to be interesting. But obviously, Leicester have done some business. They've brought some players back in as well. I think they're looking okay to be fair. I think I probably agree with you, to be honest, on Nottingham Forest. I think they'll go down.
Yeah,
I think Southampton haven't got enough. Despite having Russell Martin, who's a very, very good manager, which kills me to say after he fucked Don's over. I do like him. I don't think they've got enough.
No, I don't think they have.
I think Ipswich is going to depend on what McKenna can get out of them. It's the same to Luton. Luton looked like they might, then they looked like they didn't, and then they were close again, and then they went, and it was just a bit of a mess, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I think Everton will be fine this year. They'll be mid-table somewhere. They'll be safe. I think Brentford will struggle again.
They lose Tony, they will. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Bournemouth will have as good of a season as they had last year.
Yeah, everyone knows what they're about now, don't they? And they've lost Solanke as well, which is massive. Solanke was their goal scorer.
Them goals will mean a lot. So
they need to replace him rapid. I don't know who with. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they need to replace him quickly with someone who's 100% score them goals. They can't take a risk on a Neil Maupay or a random player from Villarreal. They're going to have to sign a player who knows the Premier League and can score goals, guaranteed to score goals.
Yeah, my dark horse, I'm going to go for Palace. I reckon they're going to get top 7. Get into Europe. Yeah, get into Europe.
Even though they've lost Elise?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's what I'm going to go for. I reckon they're going to go top 7 or maybe even top 8, depending on who wins the cups and stuff. But I reckon they'll get Europe. That's going to be my gamble.
Fair enough. I like that. I do like it. I think West Ham will be up there because I like their manager and I like their transfers. But I can see it going wrong as well. It's just West Ham and that's what they do best. They're just strange.
Yeah.
But I like Palace as a shout. If they kept Elise, I'd have been defo. If they keep everyone fit.
Yeah. I mean, they'll miss him, of course. But I still think they'll have enough. Looking at the other teams around them and stuff, they'll have enough to do well and be there or thereabouts. And then I think they might get over the line.
Yeah, I mean, Mateta scores goals, to be fair. He's been cracking since Christmas. The Olympics, he's scoring goals. He's been over there with France, and they've just signed that Ismaili Sarr as well. And he's famous for ruining City, not City, Liverpool's unbeaten season. So yeah, I'm looking at the team now. They've got an okay squad. They could and should probably do quite well.
And they performed well under the manager last year, and he's had a bit of time with them, so that they can build on that hopefully and be better this year. Whereas
they've got Munoz, haven't they? Who else they got?
Yeah,
Henderson.
I'm looking at West Ham. It's a big transition for West Ham. It's a lot of change. New manager. I think it's going to be. I think they might struggle a bit. And then the other teams I'm looking at, it's not really much of a surprise. Because Fulham are always there or thereabouts, mid-table-ish. So I think that's why I've gone for Palace.
Yeah, fair. I don't mind Palace for a shout. They've got that Phillips is coming through, Wharton's coming through, Raksaki.
Yeah, they've got some decent players.
Yeah, that Munoz looked really good. That fullback they signed, he looked really, really tough.
Yeah.
Tyreek Mitchell will be back to his best, hopefully. Guy, he's obviously been amazing for England. Got 3 pretty solid keepers. So yeah, could be decent for Palace. Chris Richards as well, another fullback they could put in. He looked good. So yeah, I don't hate that for a shout. To be fair, I don't hate that at all.
Yeah. I'll go for it. That's what I'm going for. So,
Fair.
Yeah, what about you? Go on.
I think I agree on City. I think it'll still be West Ham as well. And I think Southampton will go down. I think they'll come last. I think Nottingham Forest will not have enough this season for the first time. And I think Brentford could really... If they lose Tony, I think Brentford would be my favourite to go down as well, because they've not replaced their left back. They've not replaced their right back if he's not back fit from his ACL.
They were crap last year as well, weren't they?
Yeah, Flecken's a batting average keeper, come in with a lot of hype. Wasn't that great? Midfield was a bit meh, especially get a few injuries. And if they lose their striker, then Buemo's all they got, and he's batting average and all. So, yeah, I think they'll struggle personally, but they'll be down there with kind of the Leicesters of the world, and Ipswich and whatnot. So we'll see.
Yeah, fair one. Yeah.
So finally, before obviously we shoot off, obviously we're already running fairly deep into this one anyway. With obviously the podcast, obviously what's the plans going forward? Obviously you've done an episode with me. Obviously this is our second one that we've put on this channel, and you got another with the guy you had last week. What was the situation? What was the detail of that one? So obviously I missed that one.
So as Peter, he does. He helps businesses with tech essentially, and with like marketing stuff for businesses, making them more efficient and stuff like that. So just got him on for a quick chat, see what he's all about and what he did. Might get some more people on and stuff as well here and there, just bulk it out. More,
I like it.
More content, more better, and all that.
Yeah,
good science.
Definitely. Like, it's nice to get more people on. Like even if like one of us aren't about for it, like to get like more views and stuff. It's always good. Like that's the whole point of this podcast, is to keep just fresh and keep like different areas, different niches, things that interest us. We're not going to stick to one niche, because we like to be fluid, and that's kind of the whole point of the name. Really, it's like there's nothing like it. We just move around, chat about a lot of football, a lot of sport. Obviously, we've got a lot of interest, like my ADHD stuff. We'll no doubt chat about that next time. So I'll have some on Monday. Obviously, the business stuff is stuff we'll start looking into, and obviously we mentioned a bit of advertising this week, and that's stuff that we obviously have an interest in as well. Obviously, we're both back at work as well, so plenty to talk about on all fronts, really.
We've got it on more stuff now as well, so it's now live on Apple as well now, podcast.
Yeah.
It's on Spotify. It goes live on Facebook, live on Twitch, and I'm just working on the TikTok, trying to get it live on TikTok as well, but that's proving to be difficult for some reason.
It can be like that sometimes.
Yeah, so I need to sort that out, make things better, and then we'll try and get some more guests on and stuff here and there, and try and come up with some sort of plans.
I like it.
And then who knows in the future?
Having the more better review as well, didn't we? Like having our more better news of the week. Obviously, we'll start gaining viewership over the next few weeks and stuff. I know there's a few people that I know that listen to it and stuff, and obviously have had some opinions and stuff. Obviously, about potentially getting like a more better rating for like some almost like trash news, really. So like we'll get like the news of the week, a good news story out there, bring a news story in each, and then go from there, really. Because I know a lot of obviously people get like stories or like things to people to message in with like, the worst of this you've had, the best of that you've had. Obviously, we've sort of spoken before about having like a more better rating for big news and big kind of social media news, like with the Hawk 2 girl. Obviously, that would have been more better. Obviously, then we've watched it with her fame afterwards and tried to rinse it a little bit. Not good.
Yeah, I've not really seen anything after. I'm just all about the meme life, and then after that, I just get bored. When it becomes serious, I'm not interested.
Yeah, start selling T-shirts and shit. It's like, nah, it's not for me.
Yeah, I've not watched any of that, because I know she's done interviews and stuff, but I've not watched any of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not for it.
No, not about that life.
Fair. But unless you've got anything absolutely major to share, any topics that you think we've missed, what have we done for this?
Nothing really. I mean, we've not really talked about ADHD, but we can. I mean, it's not going anywhere, so we can talk about that another time.
That it is not. I've not had a lot of progress, to be fair. Like, I'm still on the same ones. For my last one, like my next big update will be Monday when I've got my next appointment, and hopefully I'll have some more news to share, and hopefully I'll start putting out some more TikToks as well, because I have put a bit of a stop to that since the last update. Yeah,
and there's loads of all the news is really political and stuff, and I'm staying away from that. We don't want to touch on that.
We avoid politics on the chance of pissing anyone off.
I'm not even interested in that anyway. It's bores me to death, so I'd rather just concentrate on stuff that's a bit more fun, really.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I just, not a lot. Just not been up to much, hitting the gym. doing my investing, which is going well actually. I'll pop it up on here. Hang on. Let's look at this. So all in the forex. I'll keep the money out of it. I'll just do the graph. But here you go. That's my two little investments that I'm in at the minute. So since March, and then one since mid-April, and we're up 21.3% on that one, and 18.96% on that one. So that's plodding on quite nicely. So that's all forex that is, but does the job, algorithmic trading and all that good stuff.
I like it.
But that's my ticket to freedom, to living my best life and all that.
The American dream.
Yeah, something like that. The Welsh dream.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
We won't talk about that Welsh dream.
Whoa.
Yeah, so ultimately, we've got more stuff to come. I think there's obviously the sports stuff will get less, no doubt.
I've got one more thing, actually.
Go for it.
That I need to put out there.
I like a surprise appearance or something.
Yeah, guest. So just let me see. Where's the most up to date one? Let's just bring it back to the news. So, a local lad from Corby, Jordan. I'll butcher his surname. Vucenic, I think. But so he's a really nice lad, lovely lad, and he's been in Cage Warriors and fighting and stuff for a long time now. He's dedicated his life to it, and he's been just had his first fight in the UFC.
Ooh.
So he fought in, I think it was the Dubai show. There's no pictures on here of his UFC fight. This is all Cage Warriors stuff. But I'm sure you've seen him about before on social media at the least.
Yeah, a lot of people are keen on their UFC around here. So obviously he's been a bit of a shout.
Yeah, but he's done really well for himself and got into UFC, and he's dedicated. To be fair, he trains really hard. Most people jack it in at certain points, don't they? When they're not getting anywhere, because he's been on the edge of getting into the UFC for a long time as well, and just never getting his shout. But he's finally got it. Took it at 8 days' notice, short notice. So that's some real balls as well for you.
Yeah,
to step in and do that.
Rock up and go, I'm here, fight me in 8 days. It's crazy.
Yeah, so hopefully that's the first of many. Yeah, not only fight me in 8 days, fight me in 8 days in Dubai. So 6 hours, get out there and get yourself ready and acclimatise to the heat as well.
But yeah,
it's not just it's not as if he's had a full training camp to prepare or anything. So
yeah, he's not outside as well. So love that for him.
Yeah, I think it was off the back of a fight that he's only just had a fight as well in Cage Warriors. So I don't think there was much of a turnaround in between that as well. So he's probably had no downtime from that first fight, and then he's had to go and do that. But yeah, no, I just wanted to give him a shout out because he's done really well for himself.
Yeah, big up him. We like a local person get on those because Northamptonshire doesn't really get it too often. So when they're kicking around these parts, we do like to give that a bit of a shout out because it doesn't happen a lot around here. It's kind of a bit of a boring area, really. But yeah, I love that for him. I have to keep an eye on how he gets on.
Like one of the things he was saying as well is a lot of people told him to move from Northamptonshire, go somewhere else because he won't be successful if he stays here. This, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And here he is in the UFC, which I think is 1% of MMA fighters, UK MMA fighters, actually make it to the UFC. It's probably less than that globally. But so that's that's an achievement in itself. If he never fights in it again, that's an amazing achievement. To be fair, yeah. But I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll get a contract and start pushing on. But yeah, and he is a proper nice lad as well. He's not he's not a dick like some of these people can be. But no, he's legit, genuine nice lad. So yeah,
big up him. Well done. He has a long and prosperous career and kicks on a bit, and we get to see him on UFC games and shows for a long time to come, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not much for the games. I've been playing on Twitch lately. Bit of Call of Duty on my phone and crap. I am awful.
You're a boomer, to be fair.
I am. I'm almost a boomer, not quite. Easy up.
Yeah, you're heading that way.
To be fair, in my defence, firstly, I am awful at it, but secondly, it's hard to do on a phone.
Yeah.
I need to get a console. Really, a console would be easier. Like if you try playing it on your phone, like with the touch screen and that, it's awful.
COVID and it was not the one.
No, it's not. It's awful. So in my defence, my skills were further hampered by the phone. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Fair. We'll get a console going soon, and we'll stream that shit, and I can school you.
No, because then I'm
become a 21st century human.
No, because then I'm out of excuses. Then and I don't know what excuse I'll use.
You'll get there.
I'll be terrible.
I've got Jess doing it, so you can get there.
It's getting there and then being good at it. You know what I mean? I'm not.
As long as you're enjoying it, like being good at it that deep. But
don't lie to me. What are you there for?
Makes me feel
what are you there for? Yeah. FIFA, I'm the worst at. I'm terrible at FIFA.
Yeah, stupid game anyway.
Real bad. Real bad. It's not even called FIFA anymore, is it? What is it? EA FC or something? That's crap in itself.
Yeah, there's going to be a FIFA title coming out this year, though, because they've given the license out to 2K or some shit, but it'd be ass. It'd be no good.
Yeah. That's dog. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I want to throw that in there.
We'll come back next time with some more businessy updates and some more IDXG updates, and obviously the new Premier League season and our, no doubt, half-assed venture into FPL.
Oh, it won't be half-assed. I'm going to nail it this year. It's my year.
We'll see.
I sound like Arteta now, don't I? But it's my year. I'm like an Arsenal, like an Arsenal fan. This is it. This is the one.
Yeah, this is our year, man.
I'm more than budget Pep. I'm. Don't know what I am. Yeah, I found behind the bins, Pep. I am. It's not good.
Yeah, this doesn't same ring to it, does it?
No, not really. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. But what can you do? Yeah. All right then. I'll stick around after this. We'll cut it now and then we'll have a chat about next time.
Yeah, bosh.
Sweet. Right, I shall end it there. I might even try some of this exit music stuff. Look at this. Let's have another bit. Oh, there you go.